Title: My boyfriend texted me 30 minutes before our third anniversary dinner saying, "Can't make it, babe. The boys need me for gaming tonight." When I showed up at his apartment in the dress that cost half my paycheck, he yelled through his bedroom door, "Start!" He was holding an avocado when he saw me. That's when his hands started shaking. I watched the fruit slip through his fingers and hit the tile with a dull, wet crack. Green pulp on white floor. Perfect. He didn't say a word at first, just stared like he'd seen a ghost. And maybe he had, because 6 months ago, I disappeared from his life so completely he thought he'd gotten away with it. But ghosts don't forget. It started with a text, 30 minutes before our third anniversary dinner. "Can't make it, babe. The boys need me for gaming tonight." That's what he said. No apology, no hint of guilt, just, "The boys need me." I'd spent 2 weeks saving for that dress, silk, deep red, the kind that makes you feel dangerous. I stood outside his building, rain slicing down my hair, clutching the tiny velvet box I'd bought for him. Inside, a silver watch, the kind he'd said he wanted someday. When I knocked on his door, he didn't even open it. "Tell her I'll be done in an hour," he shouted. Laughter followed, a woman's. That was the moment something inside me, something soft, cracked. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, I just stood there, perfectly still, and memorized his voice through the door. Then I left, quietly, like a ghost already forming. People think heartbreak is loud. It isn't. It's the silence after, the kind that stretches across nights and meals and mirrors. I spent those first weeks doing what every fool does, stalking his socials, refreshing, wondering. Then one night, a photo appeared. Him and her, the girl whose laugh I'd heard through the door. Her caption, "Finally official." That's when my silence shifted. It wasn't empty anymore. It was planning. Revenge, to me, isn't rage. It's arithmetic. I started with access. I still had his passwords. He'd made them all her birthday. Sloppy. His email, his bank, his streaming accounts, even the crypto wallet he bragged about like a kid showing off a toy. I didn't drain him. No, that's too obvious, too temporary. Instead, I studied him. His patterns, his debts. The late credit card payments, the unused gym membership he'd forgotten, the secret OnlyFans subscription he thought was hidden under a burner email. Every piece of data was a brick in the structure I was building. Then I made friends, digital ones, a few fake profiles, carefully aged, strategically placed. One coworker, one landlord, one potential investor. I built a small world where he was still the center, only this time I was pulling the strings. By month 3, he was knee-deep in my web. The investor offered him a deal to sell some NFTs he'd minted, fake ones of course, but real enough to attract his greed. He invested what little he had left. The landlord messaged about rent increases. The coworker flirted with him online, hinted at feelings, then ghosted him mid-conversation. Every move I made cost him something. Money, time, pride. But it wasn't enough. Not yet. I wanted him to see what he'd lost. Not me, but the version of himself he could have been if he hadn't chosen cruelty over decency. So I called her, the girl. Not as myself. As someone from the agency his company used for background checks. I told her we needed to verify a few things before confirming his job offer. She was thrilled, eager to help. When I asked about his income, his credit history, his minor legal incident from 2 years back, fabricated of course, she went silent. A week later, they were done. She posted a cryptic story. Some people never change. He didn't post anything for months after that. The final act came naturally. I waited until his birthday. I mailed a small box to his apartment, no return address. Inside was the watch I'd meant to give him that night. Still shining, still engraved, to better times. Under it, a flash drive. On it, a single video file, security footage from the night of our anniversary. Me standing at his door, holding the gift, listening to his voice as he told her to wait. He never knew I'd installed a camera in the hallway back when we lived there. He'd laughed about it, said I was paranoid. Maybe I was, or maybe I was just prepared. The video ended with me walking away. The timestamp clear. Proof. He watched it. I know because the file was opened 7 times. This morning, 6 months later, I saw him again, in the grocery store. He looked smaller, shoulders bent, eyes hollow. When he saw me, his lips trembled, and that's when the tears came. Right there, between the tomatoes and avocados. He whispered, "Why?" I didn't answer, because the truth wouldn't comfort him. It wasn't about payback. It was about balance. About the quiet satisfaction of knowing he'd finally felt what I felt that night. The shock, the helplessness, the realization that the person on the other side of the door wasn't who you thought they were. I picked up an avocado, perfect and unblemished, and placed it gently in my basket. Then I walked away. He didn't follow. He just stood there, in the wreckage of his own making, surrounded by bruised fruit and pitying stares. People ask if revenge feels good. It doesn't. It feels clean. Like closing a file, deleting a folder, clearing space for something new. I didn't destroy him. I just revealed him. To himself, to her, to the world. And sometimes that's the cruelest mercy of all. So when I stepped out into the morning light, I didn't look back. Because ghosts don't haunt forever. They just make sure they're remembered.